Hey folks, welcome to Forge Your Fantasies. You might wonder, why is there an English version of a German video on a German YouTube channel created by some random German dude? I did a poll in the communities tab just to see if there would be some interest in English videos on this channel. And by the time I am recording this, as seen in the picture, there is. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Today's topic is one complete drawing process I'll usually go through. I will start at opening the sketchbook and I will end at saving the image for the last time. I hope I can put as much information as possible in, well, a small amount of time. But if you are still missing things after this video, just write them down into the comments. The character I am about to draw is from a Draw This in Your Style challenge over on Instagram hosted by TInabina. So it's not my character, but it's my style. I call this one the deluxe version of a drawing considered the process. Because I try to fit all these techniques and activities I do on a regular basis in one video. Most of the time I would skip some parts or do some parts quicker than in this video. But this time I'm trying to do as much as possible in this video to show you what a drawing of mine could take. So let's open the sketchbook. First of all, the sketchbook. I lay down a couple of rough and quick sketches to get a good idea of different poses. I used some Hawkeye and Green Arrow images from Marvel and DC as references. After filling up this page with a lot of ideas, I chose 3 of them that I liked the most. I drew these 3 with way more details and I even tried to apply my own style. The first sketch was the one that stood out the most, so I went with that one and I incorporated some elements of the original character. To ready the sketch for the digital stage, I highlighted the most important parts with a red pencil. But what is the easiest way to get this picture on the PC as quick as possible? It's Discord! To be more precise, it's the chat I have with my wife, who is never online. I just take a picture with my phone, send it to her, go to my PC and download it again via the desktop app of Discord. Easiest way in no time. Over on my PC I started Mediabing Pro and I chose my canvas preset, which is super easy to make. I then imported the sketch and rotated it and resized it to my heart's desire. After that it was time to create all the layers and folders that could come in handy later in the process. Well, I did not standardize this yet because I'm still experimenting with some settings and requirements there. And now the sketch is ready for work. Take a break and grab a coffee. This is the stage. I then include the rest of the forgotten elements of the original character. It has to be a clean and clear sketch. I prefer to separate it in different layers to make later adjustments easier. Finally, I mirrored the sketch to match the OC, the original character. And I raised the transparency to make working on the outlines easier and more overseeable. Then I could start with the outlines. Most of the time I start with the head, because I get a lot of motivation out of a nicely drawn head. I place it on a new layer so I'm able to change its position or to correct smaller mistakes. I usually create layers for the head, the body, the hands or even arms, and last, the weapons and other accessories. An important tip is to play with the transparency here too, to keep the process as clear as possible. I even zoom out from time to time to not lose the overall composition. I don't like a large navigator view because it limits the working area and is overall distracting. If I should run into symmetrical parts, I draw only one side and copy and mirror the other side, like the bow and the arrows in this picture. After the outlines are done, I start with the flat colors to get a feeling for the picture. In this case, I had some good references. Usually I use the magic wand or the lasso tool to select precisely the areas I want to fill with colors. Normally I use only one layer for the flats. After that I create a sketch to define the position of all the shadows. I mark out the edges of the shadow areas to leave a little space to the outlines that'll stay light colored. Then I fill in the darkest or the biggest parts with some cross-hatching to create depth and or texture. I define the shadows even more by painting them flat with a slightly darker color than the base color on a different layer. Depending on the image, I hit those hatched parts with the airbrush tool again and an even darker color, to make the shadows a little more realistic, even though it is rather a comic style I am drawing in. Following these shadows is an edge highlight in a very light color or even white when the subsurface is already light. This gives a nice effect and it helps avoiding boring shadows that are just touching the outlines. After that, I usually create the background, which was given to me this time by the challenge. And if I don't like the texture or the absence of such, I apply another layer of highlights. Therefore, I use the airbrush tool again, but this time with a light or even white color. Because this was a challenge, I had to write down some hashtags for Instagram. And there we go, the image is done. I hope this video gave you some insights into my drawing process. Maybe you recognized some techniques of your own. Maybe you learned something new by me, and maybe you were just chilling and watching me draw. In either way, I hope this English version was worth the time. I did a whole English video because guess what? Creating subtitles, just subtitles, English subtitles for a German video is taking way more time than filming me talking English. So keep drawing, stay safe, and if there are some questions left, post them down in the comments. Feel free to ask them to anyone. And here is a special little shout out to the only member of this YouTube channel. It's the Giraffe Sandwich. But thank you too for watching this far in this video and staying with me all the time. I wish you a good day and see you in the next video.
Ha ha.